Well, word, dude. Yeah, thanks for coming by, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is so awesome.
So, where are you originally from?
I'm from a small town in the Sierra Nevada mountains called Nevada City. It's a really small town, super tiny population, very not ethnically diverse place.
Really?
Yeah, and which was a real nice thing when I moved down here because there's so many cool cultures. Like, it was definitely shocking for a bit, but it was good. It was really good. So I grew up in that small town. I moved here about 3.5 years ago for school.
How far was that from Tahoe?
It's pretty close to Tahoe.
Yeah.
It's about like a 45 to an hour minute drive, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah. Were you ever were you skiing up there, snowboarding?
Yeah, I used to go all the time when I was a kid. In fact, there's like all these cool little back roads you can like sneak up there on.
Right.
But
Find all the good spots too.
yeah. But I hadn't done it in forever. Last time I was like doing any sort of snow activity, it was snowshoeing. Which is also very
Really?
fun for the record.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely worthwhile. Definitely should try it sometime.
So did you ever pick up like any influences coming from the mountains? 'Cause you have like, because a lot of your music is very like, it's definitely something I'd listen to if I'm hiking. Like
Yeah,
if I'm outdoors, like if I want to be like influenced and like be
Definitely.
motivated.
I'd say there's a lot of influence
Mm-hmm.
in just growing up in a place like that. Another one of the songs that I didn't play today, but I have a gambit of songs that are about lots of different things about that area and like growing up there and just realizing how it's different than here and like what that means,
Right.
There's one song I wrote about a lake in my hometown that was like a spot where me and my friends used to go all the time in high school. And then even after we, had all graduated high school and we're all doing different things, we'd meet up at this place. And we call it the Hideaway. It was like this secret spot that no one knew about.
I love those.
It was great. You'd like hike down this trail and drive into the woods, and it was like really out there. But you just walk out and you just appear at this like magical huge lake, and it's beautiful. So I brought my friends who I met from San Francisco back to my hometown to show them that place, and I said, I want you to come check out the Hideaway is what we call it. And we got there, and there's a serious drought happening right now.
Right,
So the shoreline was like 100 feet lower, even though the lake had only dropped a little bit,
Yep.
like that impact is huge in a huge lake, So it was like the shore was all rocky and it was very barren looking, and it looked nothing like the secret, beautiful Garden of Eden spot,
Yep.
we'd been at before. So like I definitely use my hometown and the experiences I had there as like a vehicle to explain lots of things like the issues associated with like global warming, all this big social change that's happening right now. There's a lot of things that that moving to a bubble like this place is that like definitely informed my music. So I definitely try to kind of make the sound of where I'm from come through my music. Definitely.
Cool.
Sounds to me like the common cold. The symptoms the same, so don't complain. It's enough to send you home.
So you moved to the city to expand more on the music side. Am I right? Or is there
Definitely.
more to it?
I moved here originally for school, but the reason why I chose here was not only because I was going into broadcasting, and the best broadcasting school I'd gotten into was San Francisco State. But it also, I just knew that if I was in a place that was full of people, that would be a lot of culture, and it would be very. I knew it would be good. I didn't know how it would be good yet, but I knew that it was like I needed to at least see something different. My other choice was CSU Monterey, and I can tell you right now I would not have enjoyed that at all. But it worked out. This is such a welcoming city of almost everything, and including all the arts, and there's just a bunch of students in totally different areas doing like totally different things, and it's very inspiring city for sure.
I also used to live in the mountains, and I chose to move down here specifically for music and more of a bigger community.
Definitely. Where did you move from?
From Lake Tahoe.
Oh wow, there you go. That's
and
awesome.
I know what you mean too about the whole drought, dude. I went back up there for summer. Went to my favorite 15-foot cliff jump spot.
Right.
And it was like 10 feet lower, and I was like, can't even jump off now.
Yeah.
Man.
Man.
There goes the day.
No kidding. Right.
I know.
That's amazing.
So how did you and what are the other names of your members in Edwards Crossing?
Yeah. So the Megan Maurer is my roommate. I met her through Craigslist, and I just got really lucky on Craigslist looking for places.
She has a voice, dude.
Yeah, she's got a fabulous voice. She actually is was doing voice as part of her major. She's now composition, as well as doing stuff at the radio station at San Francisco State too.
Cool.
She's kind of getting all over the place. She's getting a cinema minor now, so she is a very fanned out, awesome, very talented musician. Another one of our friends I met through her as our friend Greg Zeppa, who's from San Jose originally, and he went to UC Santa Cruz, and I met him when he was living in Santa Cruz. And just turns out he played music, and he ended up moving down the street when he moved to San Francisco. And so we started playing music regularly, and it turns out we had a good chemistry going too. And then the last member of our group is Garrett Peters, and he is like one of my super good friends I met through the broadcasting program. He's a very talented musician and a great recording artist, sound designer, very, very talented and multifaceted. He's a good pushing force in the band. We're all kind of have a good look at what the band wants to be. So I got lucky. Like I picked my friends to play music with. I was just having that conversation, and it just goes a lot further when you work with your friends, I think, than people that are just simply talented.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. How why the name Edwards Crossing? How'd that come about?
Edwards Crossing is the name of a bridge that's about 5 minutes away from my house. On the South Yuba River Canyon. That river flows down to the Feather River, and then goes into the Delta, and then comes out through the bay. But like if you were to follow all the way back up to the mountains, you could go straight to my house. I live about 5 minutes away from Edwards Crossing Bridge, and it's just like I started the group as under that moniker as Edwards Crossing, as if it was my crossing, like Edwards possessive crossing, but it's actually Edwards, like the last name Edwards Crossing. And as I was making the transition to playing with a band, it was important to me that it was entering a new phase. In fact, sometimes I refer to it as we're in our post-apostrophe phase because we don't have an apostrophe in the name anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bridge from my hometown. I used to go swimming there as a little kid. Beautiful river. One of the things about it is that it used to be a big mining town, Nevada City. I mean, it still is. People still go there.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you can go to the county office and get a mining claim on the river if you want.
Really?
You can live on the river for free.
So there's still gold.
Yeah, there's definitely still gold. But the search for gold is very much can be a greedy thing,
Right.
which kind of destroyed that area too. But it also built it too. So I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. And I always wonder about if drought and all these terrible things happened and the river dried up, which would be this absolutely terrible thing. If people would just start looking for gold again, if it would just kind of restart that cycle, you
Right.
know. But so far that hasn't happened. So, thank goodness.
So you recently, is it recently or was it a while ago that you just finished your tour?
It was really recently actually.
Okay.
I mean, it feels pretty recent.
Yeah.
In fact, it was a hard adjustment getting back.
Where'd you go? Was it in the States or on the California coast?
It was a West Coast tour.
Nice.
So we actually started in San Diego and worked our way all the way up to Seattle, and then returned and played one last CD release show, releasing our first full-length record at El Rio on January 14th.
Nice.
Which happened to be my birthday. Lucky timing for me. I got to have a big party with all my friends, and it was awesome. But yeah, it was a great little tour. It was about 2 weeks long, and it was just really funny getting back. I had such a hard time getting back into the groove of it, just because I'd quit my job to go on tour, and I was gonna look for a new job when I got back, and so nothing really felt routine when I got back. It was kind of I had to start a whole new routine. And I think I'm definitely a lot more comfortable now that almost 2 months have gone by, but it definitely was an adjustment. I miss it a lot. In fact, if that could just be my job, I would so much rather have that be my job than doing the kind of work I'm doing now. But
Just gotta
that
keep
happens
going.
soon. Yeah,
Yeah, that's how you do it, right?
Yeah, I got back and I had great motivation to start
seriously.
working again.
I can't imagine. Yeah. So you have any more shows or tours coming up?
Unfortunately, at the moment, not really. I know we're gonna be playing at Elbow Room sometime in April, I believe. Which is I really don't know the date.
Yeah.
But we played with a group at San Francisco State that one took us up with a gig there, which was really cool. But we don't really have much on our horizon right now. Right now, we're really spending a lot of time just starting to write our next album because we just finished our last one, finished recording. In fact, we were like burning the CDs out of our computers in the van as we were getting to these venues. So it was really down to the line. But
multitasking on the road.
Yeah, definitely. It was the last day we were mastering the record in the van driving to the venue in San Diego, and it was not my happiest moment in my life because I know that mastering our CD in a van was probably not the most accurate way to present it. But that being said, it definitely has a lot of personality that's been attached to it because it's kind of been birthed from this kind of chaotic and DIY world. So I feel like it has a kind of an image because of that, and I'm not trying to really deny that because there are, areas where I felt like we might have cut the corner a little bit, but there are also areas that in that cutting of the corner we found really great creative ideas.
Right.
So I knew that it was beneficial in the end. But it's just funny because I've done a number of other records with other groups, and this one was so unique. It was so different than all the other ones I'd done. Other ones had a bit of a rhythm to them that they were all very similar, and this one was totally not trying to be anything like those. And I was very proud of that in the end.
Do you have a dream show, or like a dream location? Costa Rica.
That'd be cool. I loved the idea of traveling to play music. I was fortunate enough to get to see like Portland and Seattle and San Diego and all these places I'd never been to or only spent like a tiny bit of time in. But I got to look at them through the lens of like as a musician doing like work, which I thought might be a bad thing. But it turned out that was like a very like eye-opening thing because here I was like looking at these places in the way I wanted to look at them, not just like I wasn't here for business, even though I was kind of in a way, but I didn't feel like that. I felt like a vacation. So if in terms of like doing a show in any specific place, I would say like I would be greatly honored if my band could play here in San Francisco at like the Fillmore or like the Great American Music Hall or any of these big venues that a lot of our friends are starting to play in right now. That would be awesome. But other than that, I just love that my next location would be somewhere I haven't been, like maybe Costa Rica. Like I would love the chance to just go somewhere and not have to like, just enjoy it, have like a set itinerary, like all this stuff. I have a hard time like planning my own trips like that unless there's like some kind of structure like that. Unless the point of the trip is to just not do anything. But I think traveling with music is a very fun thing. It's very narrow. Like you only get to see these places for such a short time. But it really is awesome getting to look through it with that lens of like, oh, I could play music in this place. Right. I could play music here. Oh, the people here are really friendly. Like in Portland, we met a dude that was who just went to this one bar like every Sunday night for the last like 15 years. But apparently that's like a very regular Portland thing, which I'm sure like people do that in other places. But he was like so cool. He like was telling me about other music that happened there and that he like likes to buy rock t-shirts for his like 15-year-old daughter and stuff. And I was like, wow, Portland is a very different place, like a lot of like, people are very strange here. But it was cool to like see that in that way, like if I'd just been walking around the city, I would probably think it was weird for other reasons too. But to get to see it through like that exact situation was like exactly what I wanted, because I was like, oh, this is what I would do if I was living here, So it's I don't know. I honestly just haven't traveled enough in general too, so that kind of leads into that more too. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to make it to Europe to
right?
to play music. That would be
or
ideal.
everywhere, just everywhere in general.
Yeah, totally.
So thanks, man. Thanks for coming out again.
Yeah,
really
thank you, man.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
And good luck and have fun on your next album that you guys are making.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll see you next time, man.
Thanks.